Let's start here with the question, with the topic we were discussing over there, right? I said, let's talk about equipment. I said, man, I've always used very little equipment. Did you say the Pod 2.0 or was it me?
2.0, the simpler one like Feijão.
2.0. Has it been your lifelong friend for the last 20 years?
Just by itself. It was with... I played a lot and recorded many people just with it.
Did you use it for recording?
For everything.
For shows too?
For playing everything.
But then you had that controller. Was that it?
I didn't have one. It was all done manually right there. Later on, actually, I managed to buy one. I think it had about 3 buttons. I don't remember. It was a long time ago.
I remember the little controller, right?
Yes, I used the small one.
From what year to what year did you use it? Approximately?
I think from 2003 until I switched about 8 years ago to a pedal, which is the OCD. I've never been one to have eye gear.
So let's go. Let's talk about the Pod first, because the Pod is quite popular here, because I also to this day have my XT. Was it better? It's a little better, the level upgrade there, but it's also over 20 years old now. Do you still have it today? I still have it. I haven't been using it, but it really has some interesting features. And man, it's that thing we explain here. The musician is the one who makes the sound. The musician is the one who makes the sound. The sound is inside you. You go there. I'll tweak it by hand and change a few things, and the sound is good. So a lot of people today will turn up their noses at a Pod 2.0 and say, well, that's old. You can't do anything with that. But how many albums that sold thousands and thousands of copies were recorded with a Pod 2.0?
A lot of people still like the sound from that era. And so many things that were recorded 20 years ago weren't done with today's equipment, but they still sound good, sound beautiful, right?
Still digital, right?
Exactly. How can I not like that pedal? But I like that sound that was recorded so long ago. It's funny, isn't it? And the Pod was my companion for many years.
And then, did you get a controller later? So before having the controller, did you perform shows just with it without having the controller?
My whole life.
But then what did you do? Did you leave it in a setup?
It's because it's complicated. I never used a lot of sound. I used a little solo drive. I was never the guy who had many effects. Just 2 things. Things have changed a lot, you know. I think because I played, I don't know if it was my ignorance, maybe it was, or lack of, I don't know. I used 2 sounds, and it was satisfying.
So you never used, for example, delay like that?
No. Yes, I mean, many pedals delay along with drive for soloing, a little bit of reverb on the drive, I mean, but just 2 buttons. This one has a solo, a little delay, and that's it. Here there's a reverb, it gets a bit of a touch, and that's it. So I have 2 buttons. It's not like I need a controller to have a lot of things. I have 2 buttons and I soloed.
Did you press it with your finger there? Exactly. But where did it stay? On the floor or on top?
Always on the side. It's like when I played the other day, I did a gig with Aline Barros, and I put the Tuneco I used today on top. I changed it there, and it stayed on the floor. It's crazy stuff.
No, I think that's cool, man, because what we try to convey to the younger crowd here is, man, you need to learn to do a lot with little. Because if you don't learn to do a lot with little, with a lot you'll get tangled up and won't do anything.
Wow, Matheus. My biggest guitar reference after I became a teenager. The first thing was in church. But then I met a guitarist, Chaguin, an indigenous guy from Tocantins. I think I never played around with playing like that. An indigenous guy who only played drunk. And he had a Dolphy guitar and Oliver pedal. No reverb, no delay, nothing. And look, Michael Jackson's Billiard. All those guitars, he did it all by himself there. And it was amazing. And with just a little thing. And then a long time later, I found out that a lot of things Paulinho Guitarra recorded with just a little pedal. I said, guys, I don't know. I never really used a lot of equipment like that. Not today. Today, the guy has everything, right? I said, my God, at any show you go to, the minimum the guy has is that core, whatever it is. There's it's very heavy.
People are going to use Quad Cortex Kemper.
And it's a lot of money too.
Wow, a lot of money. It's a kidney. It used to be a day from heaven.
It's lots of.
The guy makes a down payment on, I buys motorcycle.
Of course.
Bought the motorcycle.
I just bought the motorcycle at its value. Bought the motorcycle.
It's complicated. But then I found it funny because did you have to ask for something to put the podium next to it to play?
Actually, there's always the battery thing, right? You'd put it up there and it would come right here. It changed and it was done.
Has it ever happened that you had no place to put it because it was far from the battery? Or did you move closer to the battery?
It was all very simple. Sometimes just on a little spot on the side, so there was nowhere to step.
Have you ever had to keep standing up and sitting down?
Yes, because, man, there are some gigs where we have to manage. Sometimes I was soloing and it would come. And suddenly there wasn't time to change. And with the volume down, we kind of stayed in drive and continued the song until we could change. With a little bit, we have to make do, Matthias.
You controlled the drive with the volume there.
Nowadays, the guy has everything, right? Buttons, tons of pedals. I never had that. I was never like that.
But that's cool. I believe many who are listening here say, comment here, folks. It's blowing your mind, right? Your little brain there. Like, wow. The guy made a bunch of DVDs, recorded a lot of CDs with Pod 2.0, just pressing two little buttons, right?
I even wanted to mention that there's a guitar solo. I go on YouTube. There are many tutorials of it. A lot of people doing it, even today. They do it and tag me, which is a solo from a song called Simply Supernatural by Rosa and Nascimento. It's a very well-known solo. Everyone likes it, knows it, and the solo is mine. And the guy, how did you do it? I did it with a Podi and a Golden guitar. I took the Golden, tuned it, took the pod, set it to solo, and recorded.
Was the Golden yours?
The Golden was mine. It belonged to Jeffino, a guitarist partner.
How long did you keep that Golden exactly?
I'm going to open a confessional here, confess a sin. I took it to a guy and put a Gibson sticker on it. And there was a carpenter near my house who took it because the tip of the Golden is a big head. Then the guy, I said, man, I wanted you to, a carpenter who you cut. So the guy took it, cut it nicely, just right, like a Gibson, and put a sticker on it. I spent my whole life playing.
People would say call Arueli, who has the Gibson. Has a Gibson?
Including
a classic Gibson 55 sound.
In the second to last DVD of Rosa da Cimenta, I'm there playing with it. It's a Golden Gibson. And the pickup was quite weak. Later I bought a 457 and put it on. And today I don't use it anymore, but it's on the wall of my house. It's not for sale. I won't sell it.
How many years exactly did you keep it?
Many years. I have it today, but I don't play it anymore.
But did you ever use it officially?
All my life. I'm with Rose. I'm with Isla. With Cassiane. With many people playing with it. Sergio Lopez. I recorded. I have a guitar solo that is also very well known by Sergio Lopez from a song, I forgot which one, where I have a guitar there. And also people record a lot of solos, many tutorials with it, and it was recorded with the Golden, which is a Gibson.
But like, did you tell people? Did you admit it to everyone?
I never said no. If they asked me, I would say, oh man, it's a Golden.
But you didn't tell anyone. I mean, people would be like, man, what model is that Gibson there?
Man, but it looks a lot like it. I'm going to post it on my internet. It's a blue Gibson, a blue Les Paul. And the only thing that was off was the tip, the neck here, the tuning pegs. It had a really big headstock. But the carpenter took it and cut it nicely. Then the guy put a sticker on it, and it passed.
And people would praise it saying, wow, this Gibson has a lot of sound.
Always. No one ever spoke badly about it. It's impressive. I don't know what happened, but no one ever said anything bad about the guitar.
It's strange. That's really funny because it's the confirmation bias, right, man? Wow, the Gibson is good.